姉ちゃんが誰ですか？
あれ、日本人探してるなら、なんか、1619とか、ファンタジー集会所とかありますよ。ただ、
ああ、なるほど。
うん、
Here, Jamie. In my hand, boy. ああ、これはお姉ちゃん。
Huh? No, my work van's tire is flat. One of my or one of my coworkers, my neighbor freaking came and knocked on my door telling me that my tire was completely flat. The same one that I told the people at the mechanic shop that I went to that I thought was losing air, and it said, they were like, oh no, you're fine, there's no issue, and here I am with a flat tire, and they wanted me to come in early tomorrow, so I was also hanging out with some buds in well, at like 6:30 I was hanging out with some buds in freaking the New Japan Shrine. You speak any Japanese, Kata? Are you a big old weeb? Really? What? Wait, really? That's sick. Do you speak? Oh. What the I don't know what to believe anymore. I'm being skamazed. Wait, did you actually live in Japan? Or no? I'm fucking lagging balls. You did? And you didn't pick up anything? Good talk. There's a mirror here? Oh, it's a fucking... How long do you think until we're gonna be starting? Are you just gonna redraw all the diagrams? Huh? That's what I'm asking you. Holy shit, I'm getting spam invite requested. You know Dark Infinity 93? Exactly. I just declined them all. Oh hey, we can still hear your game audio. Kelly's streaming? I should probably turn off the mirror. Looking cool, Joker. I have my. Am I gonna have to be referencing my notes or just taking new ones? Oh, fun. Where's my pen? Wait, where is my pen? Holy shit. Ugh, fuck. Okay. Why the fuck is there a spider in the corner? What the hell? Fucking hate. Is it gonna be used for anything? Alright. Alright, I can't draw shit either. From yesterday? It was wand, ring, bracelet, necklace, staff, and that ends the list. Or familiar, but we don't use that. Sorry. Okay. Okay.
Hmm. It's a nice day. I'm about to throw a fucking. Yo.
Hello again.
Yeah. So you're back. Back to class.
Alright.
So how you feeling
Hopefully for,
today?
I'm feeling good, I suppose. I spent some time looking at the notes, but I'm sure there's a lot more I've left to learn, so I'm just happy to still be here. I figured you would have dropped me, if anything, from the first day.
Nah, once they're in, you're in at this point, Sig. Sorry. So, I got some things kind of mixed up because Divine and Arcane users. Sorry, I'm mostly used to myself, but I'll correct it today.
Right.
I wasn't too far off.
Sure thing.
So, yeah.
Well, I suppose I'm ready when you are.
Cool. The 8 schools, 9 schools-ish of magic.
Right.
It's fairly important. So, you remember what they are?
They are abjuration, conjuration, enchantment, evocation, illusion, necromancy, and then I believe number 9 is universal. Question mark?
Oh,
Where's
yes.
my pen?
And now we're going to go into the sub-schools, which a lot of
Oh.
people don't think that there are, but, you know, getting as much information as you can is a good idea.
Right.
The first one, abjuration, doesn't really have one. Oh well.
No subclasses?
Some
Abjuration doesn't have any?
some people would argue that it would be wards and banishment, but have that more of a side note.
Right.
Essentially all the same thing. Second one, conjuration. Its sub-schools are calling, creation, healing, summoning, and teleportation.
Teleportation. Got it.
So calling is basically teleporting, or transporting more specifically, from one plane to the other, you know, from here to hell, all that good stuff. Creation is
Right.
a spell that manipulates matter to create an object or creature in the place that you want it to be. I know it seems a little out there, but that's why. Shouldn't do that willy-nilly. And also there's limits on it, and durations, and a lot of stuff that goes with it. Also, healing. More like with divine casters. Like myself. Alright, next one, summoning. This is more specific to instantly bring a creature or object to the place you specifically want. And
Right.
it's more of a permanent thing because you can dismiss it or get rid of whatever you summon.
Right. Does it have any subclasses, or is that just straight up what's in it?
That is the subclass, conjuration. We mean subclasses don't have subclasses. The next one is teleportation. You know, transporting one or more objects a great distance. More powerful than the farther you can go. It's probably already experienced enough of that shit, haven't you? Unlike summoning,
Yeah.
it's one way. And can't really stop it or block it. And there's divination. Actually, which is the next one. We're moving on.
We're moving on to
Divination. Cool. Its sub-school, as I said, was scrying. Know what scrying is?
we're gonna say, for sake of conversation, I do not.
Allows you to gain information on people or things or places that you can't normally see in front of you. A bit more than that, though, considering, you know, sometimes to do with like conditions and like someone's blind or deaf, some sort of weird sensory thing going on. It gives you information.
Right.
Stereotypical witch looking into a crystal ball, trying to see what their husband is doing, trying to cheat on him or something. You know. The next one, enchantment. Not sure if I actually went over that. I can't remember. So,
Nope.
its sub-schools are charming and compulsion. Mind-altering effects, like I stated before. Charming is more... How can I say this? How the person or subject views you. Generally making them a good friend. You'd be like, you charm somebody, you'd be like, oh, I think I'm the greatest guy around. And it's normally non-harmful, non-lethal. Because you try to harm somebody with it, the spell won't work. It's just not how it works. And compulsion is what you would think when you charm somebody. When you would enchant them. You make them want to do something. Something they wouldn't normally do. Be like, oh, that's a nice rock in that ocean. I want to go get. And he jumps off a cliff and wants to get it.
Sounds useful.
Yeah, like 90% of the people you come across it won't work on, so you try to compulse somebody or charm somebody and it doesn't work, they'll just be pissed off at you. And
Right.
oh, you have to deal with the consequences with that. It's whatever. Evocation. Doesn't really have one.
Okay.
I mean, there's no sub-schools, but there's different sort of elements for evocation, but that's not the same. I'll go over that later.
Right.
And then there's illusion magic, of course. That's broken down into different figments of your imagination, glamours, patterns, phantasms, and shadowy like stuff. Figments are more of a false sensation, like smells and all that. Glamours are more kind of like that, but making someone think something looks or smells or feels like it's something else, or even seem to not be there at all. Let's see, patterns, like I stated, is like an image that people can see, but it'll affect their mind. Think of, ever seen a kaleidoscope?
Yeah.
You just see all these weird patterns, or like, oh no. And then like your mind starts going all woozy. It's a visual
Nah, I
thing.
think I get what you're trying to say.
And a phantasm is more of like a mental image that's put into your head that you see, like a ghost, but not actually there. It's all in your mind. And then we go with necromancy. It doesn't have one, but the power of death on life. All that, you know, manipulating it.
Right.
It's a bit more to it than just raising the dead, and even prevent death in general. It's all just about manipulating death. Even in turn, if it's like preventing it in the first place. So it's
Right.
more than just that. And of course, transmutation. Changing the properties of a creature, thing, or even the condition in general. That doesn't have a sub-skull, but some like to argue. If it's broken down into like people or objects, but it doesn't. Of course, the universal is universal. There's nothing to it, really. Alright, that's done. Any questions? Sorry this is boring, Sig, but
It's not more. I'm taking avid notes.
like people try to cast spells, but you know, they don't really understand it. So if we get all this out the way, then we could just start doing a sprint towards spells. To be like, oh, this is the spell. Okay, I already know all this. And you don't have
Right.
to spend a fucking
Make it-
year trying to break that spell down and all that, because you would already know it up here.
Right.
It's how I learn super fast, Sig.
Well, knowledge is power.
Exactly. That's all the wizards say, and all the mages. Knowledge is power. Pretty neat. So, with that, intelligence, smartness, and wisdom. Knowing exactly it is what you regurgitated in terms of information. So, basically, intelligence is like knowing that tomato is a fruit, of course, and then wisdom is
Oh, God.
knowing not to
Not
put
putting it
in the fruit salad. Yeah, you got it. Holy shit, Sig. You could be the best wizard yet. So, with your intelligence, which is going to concentrate on, is how you'll be able to cast more shit and be better. I know it seems ridiculous in like a video game, but it's generally how it works. Gotta boost that intellect. And your intelligence is, I know it seems really kind of strange, but it's pretty much broken down into several different things in order to make it better. There's Arcana. Basically magic stuff. It's fairly simple. And then there's history. History about magic, history about the world, magical creatures, history about the area in general. This is all shit you'll deal with because I don't really care to do it. And also there's insight. Which is basically, it's kind of really an all-encompassing thing. Just looking into something. Being insightful. Investigation. Investigating. kind of already do that anyways. Shit, I'm gonna have to tell you about it.
Right.
Medicine. You wouldn't think so, right? But usually doctors and shit are smart. Know how the human body works,
I
how
would
other
think
stuff
so.
works. It's more encompassing than just, hey, I want to heal a broken leg or all that. It's more like biology.
What do you want to heal about the broken leg? What part of the leg's broken? Do you know how it's supposed to be?
Sure. And religion. It's mostly for divine casters, so you're not going to give a shit about that. Cool.
Gotcha.
But you can if you want. I don't really care. It's what you want to do. I ain't stopping you.
Right.
Okay, so
Okay.
I guess I'll go into this somewhat because you were interested in the abjuration, right?
Right. Were there anything else you'd want to say for wisdom?
But you're gonna need some of it. Sorry.
No. I'm just genuinely curious, considering you'd given a list for.
Wisdom is what I have
intelligence.
to concentrate on. It's kind of complicated.
No. I wanted to know if you had any further notes for that before I mark it off.
It's not really important considering you're not gonna really deal with it. You're gonna be worrying about intelligence. But you want to know about wisdom? Sure, why the hell not? Wisdom is more like the tomato thing. Perception. Nature. Perception. Sure, intelligence is all about how to do this stuff, right? But wisdom is more like
The mere fact of knowing.
that and how can I explain this? It's more broad.
Right.
It's mostly nature stuff.
That works for notes. Don't worry about it.
Honestly, I'm kind of forgetting myself because I'm so used to doing it.
Onward to abjuration. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Yeah, sorry there.
Don't worry about it. It's fine. We can always talk after class, of course.
Nuh-uh. No, it's not. I'm joking. It's fine. I guess wisdom would be more like, you know how this is like all smart people stuff about book smart, but sometimes you can't get everything from a book. Sometimes you have to go to a decrepit old man who's old and wise, that's 100 years old, knows stuff and seen stuff that hasn't even been written down and all that, technically. You know? Just more broad knowledge on things. That's not specifically book smart. And perceiving things that, I guess that's why you didn't really recognize that first. Like this spider, for instance. I really hope this fucking shit works. Okay.
Fuck that.
Look at this spider. What do you notice
Yeah,
about
I'm
it?
trying to.
It has 8 legs, right?
Fucking hate it.
None of that shit fucking
Right.
eyes. What I see is a friend. Someone who eats the flies and all that.
I understand
But
what
you,
good they do.
the intelligence, they would be like, oh, okay, so it has 8 legs, it has 4 eyes. Okay, so it's a spider, it's part of this genus, it's part of this family. Okay, it's probably been here for about a week, scaring the shit out of me. And no. Nature. Spider.
It is much more than just its
Good. Not, oh, creepy spider, what's it gonna do? It's gonna inject poison into my face? Well, as intelligence people might know if it type of poison, but I would know if it is or isn't poisonous. What type of spider? Oh well. Enough of that shit. Okay, abjuration. Sorry. We're moving on.
Yeah, you're fine. I'm just trying to look past the spider here.
It's hilarious. Okay. Magical barriers that can either negate magical or even physical abilities. Sometimes harm more like trespassers. Like you put up a ward and to warn others if there's someone trying to steal your stuff. Like you can, like, oh, wish I had more rock. So you can imagine that there's a treasure box here, right? You can put a spell on it,
Right.
and it will tell you if somebody tries to break into it, either by audible or gives you a sense, oh snap, somebody's trying to break in my stuff. It's
Very
really,
useful.
you know, there's a lot to it. And banishing, which I've told you about, just getting rid of them. Like, okay, now you're going somewhere else, another plane of existence, another dimension. Just poof. I almost did that once to a devil. Good thing I had to cop myself. Apparently, it was a familiar and non-hostile.
Oh, that would have been unfortunate.
Yeah, there was no coming back to that sucker. Gotta be very careful. Also with this, when you use an abjuration spell, it's very important mostly for you because you're an arcane users. So if you were using an abjuration spell, and they're within 10 feet of each other, right? For over 24 hours, they cancel out. They interfere with each other, the magics. That's unless you are...
What, multiple abjuration spells?
Yeah. So you put a ward right here, 10 feet, another ward right here. And over time, they'll destabilize each other, and then poof. But it's 24 hours. You wouldn't really have to worry about that. That is unless you are OP as fuck. And it just doesn't happen that way.
Grade over 20.
So it isn't always concrete. So what else we got here? Rituals. Because you're going to be some sort of wizard and shit. You're going to use rituals. And
Right.
it's specifically part ritualist. I mean, I don't really like dealing with that, but whatever. I mean, sorry.
Don't worry about it.
Here's my notes on rituals. Certain spells are rituals. It means they take a lot. I mean, you kind of know it's stereotypical ritual, like, oh, got to get the candles
Yeah,
up, and then
It takes time. It's set up and just
takes around. The average is actually 10 minutes.
Oh,
On low level stuff, regular stuff, but it's like something huge, like ritual for a whole house or a castle. Of course, it's gonna take more than 10 fucking minutes. But this is like 98%, 10 minutes. And okay, so yes, rituals are special when it comes to you, because you have this. You can put your ritual spells in here, and you can use it whenever you want, and they don't go away. And you don't have to prepare them.
I don't have to prepare the ritual? Or prepare...
You can, but you don't have to because you got the book. It's whatever. Just keep the book on you, you can cast the ritual, okay?
Right. But if I do have the knowledge of the spell I'm trying to cast and the ritual within it, if I don't have a spell book, do I just have to wait for that time period then?
Here, give me a sec.
Because you're saying I don't have to prepare, like you mean that the average 10 minutes you were talking about? I can just on the spot perform a ritual?
Oh, that's why. Of course, this is why I got confused, because I haven't done this in a long fucking time. Okay, so rituals. There are... When it comes to a spell, there's a ritual spell. Sometimes there's a normal version of it, or a ritual version of it. Normal one's usually instantaneous. You just boom, okay. And then there's a ritual one version of it, which doesn't take
And
up
I'm assuming the ritual... Does the ritual one have any increased potency as a result of the preparation put into it?
They last longer, more powerful. Like one of my rituals I can cast. Let's see, I'm not gonna say it because I don't accidentally. I can basically make everything in 100 feet become all overgrown.
Huh.
It's like when you want to go out there and mow the lawn. That's probably me. Oops. No, I'm just kidding, Sig. But yes, I can do that. If I cast it as a ritual, which this is different, I do it for 24 hours straight. Instead of just doing the instantaneous effect, I can make everything in that 100-foot radius become thick and overgrown like that. And in addition to that, have all the plants produce double their yield for an entire year.
Sounds potent.
Oh yes. So, instantaneous effect, or cast it as a ritual, which that ritual would be 24 hours straight if you cast it. But if I do it as a ritual, then I can still use the instantaneous effect of it without not being able to use it again and tiring myself out. It's kind of weird. Whatever.
Are there specific, I suppose, cooldown times for each spell?
Yes. 12 or 24 hours. Or what people like to say, after you go to sleep for a long time and wake up. Your body has to recharge, your mind, and all that. Also, there's special tricks around this, but it's like, kind of controversial.
Is it on a spell-to-spell basis, or is it based on the intensity of the spell?
No, it's all of them. Like, unless it specifically says, then generally it's just you sleep, you're good again. Let's see what else did I get. Rituals. You're gonna have to be a ritualist. Sorry. Rituals in the spell book. let's see. Oh, yes, magic items. So as a wizard, you have a arcane focus, like an orb, crystal ball. Sorry, and then an arcane bond, which is different. Sorry about that, Sig. I'm not a
That's alright.
wizard, so I got them confused. So, arcane bonds are a wand, a ring, a staff, a necklace, or a weapon, or a familiar. Which we don't do the familiar thing, as I said, because I don't want to piss someone off. So, what these do, when you become a wizard, which, just get that shit out the way, why not? These, like, this has 7 charges. You already know about this, right? This has a spell in
Yeah,
it.
the wand.
That you can use 7 times. These actually have 1. But they don't break and they'll stick around. You see the
Right.
advantage? Will this break? I don't know. But 7 shots. 7 charges. And every day it recharges. Actually, I need to double check my stream. Okay, good. Okay. And then each of these, they have 1 spell in it. These are special because I know they seem sucky, but they have a catch. This could be any spell from here. Even the one that you don't have here. Say you have, okay, you have your cantrips. You have your 3 cantrips, right?
Right.
And oh no, I only have 3 cantrips? Boom, now you have 4. Because the spell's in the item. Or you have 4 cantrips and a spell of the first level, but you have 6 of these. Oh no, looks like you have 2 of the first level of spells. And then 3 cantrips, so that's 3, 4, 5. 5 different spells. This could be literally any spell into here that you can cast. But do not do the ritual because it's stupid. Like, why are you gonna
Right.
take 10 minutes to cast a spell from a fucking ring? It's meanwhile your teammates over
So
there
you
getting
can-
their heads kicked in.
So through the arcane bonds, you can only, well, besides the wand itself, you can only put 1 spell on each piece, I
One.
suppose.
And you can switch them out,
And
actually.
Are you able to physically, I guess, not combine them, but say I was to wear a necklace, a ring, while holding a sword, would that then net me 3 spells?
No, you cannot have more than 1. It just won't work. Just 1. Let's see. Okay, there's something different to this though. Sometimes actually this works if you have like a familiar and the item, but you know, okay. But generally 1.
Right.
Hopefully it doesn't get too late. Yeah. Okay, so yes, that is why having a ring, like so you have your arcane bond ring. It's small, it's convenient, and it has your 1 spell that you can have in it. It's like,
And then everything else would be through the focus. Because I am able to, with the use of a spell book,
through
am I
the
able to freely cast through a focus?
Yeah, that's generally what it's for.
What other types of focuses are there besides the orb?
I found out pretty much anything really, but because out of character, it could pretty much be anything because it's VR chat, whatever.
Well,
It's up
fuck.
to you.
I want my glove. I'm just kidding. I don't know. I'll
It's not
figure
gonna be.
something
It's
out.
not gonna be your glove. Sorry.
I know. We talked about it. I'll try to find something.
Spellbook. Focus. Bond. You got your spells in your spellbook. You cast it through your focus. It's not going to be like stereotypical, like you take out your orb and be like, and it'll start shooting fire at the orb. No, you just have to have it on your person.
Right.
Just think of the orbs like sucking the magic out of the air or something like that. Like you see how it works.
The gatherer of the. Right.
And then you have your bond, which will have your one spell. So your arcane bond is extremely important. Because, let me reiterate this, because if you lose it, you are fucked. ED.
Am I unable to use that specific spell because it was put into the bond?
No.
If it's
Takes
still in
an
the spell
entire, takes a week to make it.
book?
Also, if you do not have this, you also cannot cast more than cantrips. Sorry, I forgot to put that there. So you need your book to cast. You need your focus. It's important, but not that important. And you have your arcane bond, which if you don't have it, you can't cast. But it has their single spell in it. These can break, which are also fucked. You need to make another one. But if they get damaged, then every day they will repair themselves and go back to normal. In order to create your focus, arcane bond, there we go. You put your essence into it and it just kind of this will say how it works. I don't care to learn it. It's all in you. Sorry.
Right.
I have too much knowledge in my head anyways. I'm not gonna go and like, oh, all about arcane bonds and how you make the ring and the
Yeah.
intricate of the fucking spells. Like, no. Sorry. Sorry, Sig.
It's okay. I'm sure you'll leave me with enough.
Let's see. Ah, yes. The first spell you're going to learn is called... Can you guess what it is? That's going to help you out with this?
Summon item or some summon it for.
No, you're dumb as hell. It's called... I'm joking. Read magic.
Should have guessed.
So you won't spend a million years trying to learn these spells, Sig. Like I did.
Well, I appreciate your generosity.
If you're really good, it'll take no less than 2 hours to put a spell in your book. But with this shit, you still need to do 2 hours if you want to put a new spell, but you could use the spell, read it, and you would just know it, even though it's in another language. From that day forward.
Right.
And be able to write it in about 250 words a minute, give or take. It works with books, scrolls, and weapons. Isn't that cool?
With
Not only
weapons?
that, Oh, yes. I'm not sure why, but it's just how the spell is. Also, with that, and there's certain magical things called a glyph. Shit, how you spell glyph? My brain.
GLYPH.
You're fucking awesome, Sig. So what read magic, you will be able to read spells in a different language, scrolls, weapons, and glyphs. Pretty neat, isn't it?
Yeah. But I'm still intrigued about reading weapons. You mean engravings on a weapon?
Yes, sometimes weapons are enchanted. In order for that enchant to work, the magic needs to be inscribed directly on it. This is why you need to pay the hell attention when someone's trying to kill you with a magic weapon, Sig. If it's inscribed on it... Oh no! I can see that. They're holding a sword out. There's an inscription on it. It's fire! I might need to do something that protects me against that. Boom, already have a heads up. This is all about intelligence. You gotta think. You're facing a foe. We will always have time to analyze the situation, even if it's a couple of seconds. Oh, look at the person. He has a sword. Could be a warrior. I know you shouldn't assume, but it's generally, like, they're probably gonna use it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a person. He's clad in armor. He has a sword, and it has runes on it. Boom, read magic. Okay, it's a fire sword. You do not always have to go directly towards blowing them the hell away. What if you have teammates? I'd be like, hey John, I used my spell. He has a fire sword. Might want to look out for it.
Right. And this spell fall under the same cooldown as the others?
No. It is called a cantrip. That means you can use it as many times as you need to, and it lasts 10 minutes, Sig.
Right.
The stronger you get, the longer it works. Up to shit, like around to, I'm not sure how long. It's 20 times 10. That's like 200, right? Yeah. I'm bad at math, Sig. It's whatever. I'm just kidding. But yeah, whatever. Just saying that this spell's awesome because the more powerful you get, the longer it lasts. It's whatever. Also, if you're strong enough, and I highly recommend not doing this because... You know what? I'm not going to tell you that, Sig. Maybe later.
Don't even worry about it.
The thing is, it only works on you. Don't let me try using read magic on someone else. It just won't work that way, Sig. It's like I reach into my pocket and just give you a clear prism. It's a prism. Pretty neat. Guess what this is,
Right.
Sig?
I'm not sure. What is it? Your the focus? A focus?
Wow, you got that in first shot, Sig. Anyways, sometimes spells need materials and a special focus. Man, you're good at this. So this particular spell needs a prism or it's a prism, whatever. So with this spell, I'm sorry, Sig. I know you probably wanted a
You're
spell
fine.
that shoots fire or something and
I mean, you have to start
makes
somewhere,
somebody
right?
trip.
And
So with this, if you stick with me and not go crazy, you can get all your fucking spells. So you won't take a million years trying to do this.
right, it's the gateway.
The gateway spell. So you can actually read magic. Sorry, Sig. Your first spell wasn't going to be that exciting, but it's a spell. It
It's,
allows you to get other spells. Whoa.
right. It's an important first step. Oh, for a long journey.
So, we went over the types of magic, right? What do you think read magic is? Oh shit, I'm gonna clear that.
What's going on? Would it be a form of divination?
Yes. Wow. You are smart.
Yeah, keep telling yourself that. I'm
No,
just looking at my
seriously.
notes here,
Like,
as I always have.
it is divination. Divination affects you. Like, oh, I'm going to use read magic spell. Divination. The spell's on you. You don't use
Right.
divination and be like, okay, are you poisoned? Like, no, it's
Right.
the spell's on you. It's giving you information on them. Very important, because if someone you're looking at can't have magic used on them or some sort of weird shit,
Then
divination.
you can cast it on yourself to find out the information you still need to know.
Exactly. You don't need to do shit to them. One time I had to take on a demon. And we don't know. Okay, it was a human. Sorry, turning into a demon. And if you use magic on him, you get turned into a demon. And I was the only one was able to find out how far along he was into turning into a demon. He was about 60% there.
And you figure this out to read magic.
No. Divination. Detect.
Is this another spell I should be adding to my list?
We'll cross that bridge, but I'm telling you how divination can be extremely important. A lot of people thinks it's stupid because it's not attack magic.
Doesn't make it not useful.
So you're facing somebody. It's the guy with the fire sword. We already figured that out. He's clad in armor. I can't see what the hell he is.
We'd
Now I
have to
can.
detect.
Oh, looks like, okay, I use my divination magic on it. It's on me. It gives me information. I see. Oh. Looks like he's what's something to be kind of out? He's a zombie. Yes. He's a zombie. Undead. Okay. No fucks given. We can take him out.
Right. Information is key.
I'm just saying, because if it was a human in there, oh, maybe we might want to restrain him, ask him something, be like, hey, why are you doing that? Or be
We
like, okay,
certainly wouldn't open with killing intent. Right. I hope not.
it's whatever your team leader tells you and all that good shit, but generally, no. I'd be like, okay, team, Okay, I used my spell, read magic. Okay, he has a fire sword. Because it's enchanted. Oh no, looks like I used my other spell. Okay, he's undead. Information.
Is detect also a cantrip?
No.
It's a one time. Well, not one time, but on the cooldown. Okay. Should I bother writing detect down?
No, I'm just giving you an example of how divination magic is useful, and a lot of people think it's pointless, stupid because it's not attack magic. Okay, imagine this. It's a zombie.
The more it.
Oh, it might be weak to holy, or it might be weak to fire. But even so, your spells can tell you that, what they are weak against.
Right.
So your
It's a
attack
shame
magic
the
would be
detection can
more
only be used once.
effective.
It's a lot easier to fight something if you know what you're dealing with.
Exactly. Because the worst thing you can do is use your attack magic on it and it not do jack shit.
Right.
And then you wasted all your attack magic. And you're just sitting in the back here twiddling your thumbs. You're like, oops. Because you have any times, man, I've been fighting so many people. Jesus. Immunities. Oh boy. Oh, that's annoying. Like, I'm immune to fire. Oh, like, jeez.
Yes, pardon me. Alright. Seems I've got down all the notes on this part.
Let's see. We go over your
So-
weaknesses and your strengths. Also, out of character, because this is VR chat, you can pretty much do what you want. But here we go. Since you're going to be a spellcaster, how can I do this? And you generally are not exactly the strongest. What do you think would be a good place on the battlefield for you to be?
In the back lines.
You
or at
bet your
least close enough
ass.
that I can analyze the situation.
Exactly. You have spells, you have range, you have cover. You can blow them up before they even touch you. It's kind of nice, isn't it? But of course, it doesn't always work like that. 'Cause spells sometimes don't instantly kill somebody, and sometimes you need information on them. But, you know, you have other teammates most of the time, so you can tell them, hey, zombies, weak to fire, and holy, they have fire weapons. Like, oh shit, thanks, Sig. Now we won't get murdered as easily. And be like, okay, I'm gonna launch my fire at them. Okay, they're softened up. They're on fire to be like, I'm on fire, taking damage, probably gonna burn and die. And by the time they get to here, to your teammates, all they have to do is only a little bit of damage. And then they're done. It's awesome that way. But that's the best case scenario. Are you here? Okay.
I mean, I'm nodding.
So, also as a spell caster, a magic caster, generally you're, defensively bad. Because when trying to cast spells, generally armor makes it so that you have a hard time doing it. I know you saw me wear armor, but it's special armor, and I know what I'm doing. So sometimes there'd be tricks to
Almost
that.
like they'd be in what, say, like a robed garment of some sorts.
If you want. But
Well,
generally,
we're talking about physical defenses here. What would be recommended for a spellcaster then?
not heavy armor.
Light and below. Gotcha.
Besides, light and nimble, so you can run faster than these people anyways. Use your speed, your agility, use, you know, cover. Just use your brain.
That is the overall goal.
So if I'm all the way over here, and you're down there, and I'm just launching attacks at you, right? I'm just letting you have it. So try to attack me.
Right.
Come on, come on. I'm launching spells at you. I'm doing it. No, I'm launching at you. I'm just
I'd
shoot,
definitely be dead
shoot,
before
shoot,
I even
shoot,
got close
shoot,
enough.
shooting magic at you. Shooting magic, shooting magic. I just set up a whole fucking wall right here blocking you.
Yeah.
I'll be like, oh
Yeah, I'm
snap, and I
basically
could just
screwed
run
from
away.
anything close range.
And I'd be like,
I
I'm
get
running
the
away.
message.
I'm shooting at you, running away. That was fun. Now,
Glad you got to enjoy your exercise, but I get the message.
so
Range is key.
with that, unlike other stupid spellcasters, we're not going to do all that much. What you need is, just in case someone does get up in front of your face like this,
Oh, Jesus Christ.
you need to be able to defend yourself. That's why I have a shield. But do whatever you want in terms of close-up defense. Just know it's going to happen.
Right.
Because you could be launching spells at that person and you're like, oh no, he teleported to me. He's in my face. What do I do? Nope.
Knife.
Be like, take your sword out, slash him. Or shield bash. Sometimes you won't be able to have time to cast a spell. Unless it's something really strong, like, oh, now you're in another plane. That'd be funny though, but if it doesn't work, then what? You
Then
did.
I'm screwed unless I have anything else.
So what we're not going to do, like other stupid spellcasters, is just focus on range. We're going to have close. What's it called? CDR?
Close quarter spells?
Yeah, CCR. Close quarters. CCC? I don't know. Close quarters combat. And we're going to have
Control.
range. Crowd control is still a part of range. Just because you have crowd control and they're like this, okay, I'll paralyze you. They break out and they attack you when you're right here. That lasted 2 seconds.
What do you do?
You always got to keep in mind how long it's going to last. It's even though a spell says, oh, this should last 5 minutes. There's no telling who you're against, what they have, some sort of defenses, whatever. Your spell can last 2 seconds on them. They're like, oh
So
no.
we'd find that out
You're
through
like,
divination.
no.
We can't gain that kind of access or that information off of detect. Oh, that's unfortunate.
So if someone's right up in front of you, oh, I'm going to paralyze them. Oh snap, I should run away. And then they break out and like hit you in the back. Oh, that sucks. So what you need to be able to do, either you can like push them away, get more range between you and them. So if you were to push them back, say I'll push you back, and you go right there on the stairs. Oh snap! I got range, and now I have more time to get range myself. You ever try
Right.
to run at me? Oh, now I could use my spell. Now I can paralyze you, and you're right in the middle, and then I could, uh, whatever, run away myself.
I get the image. I get the message. It's an easy way to fight your opponent, in a sense.
Yes. Boom. Push them away. More range. Or even then, if they have
Right.
range on you, because there's more space, paralyze them, and then even if it breaks in 2 seconds, you'll still have a big gap. And then at least be able to get one, maybe even two spells off at them. Instead of 0.
Right. Life or death.
But you know, all this is like combat for later on, but you get the gist of it.
Right.
So yes, close quarters. Some sort of defenses. Armor, of course, whatever. Some sort of protection clothing. It's just something. A shield, whatever. Because you think have any never mind. You think I have any place carrying a shield? I mean, I'm a fucking full spellcaster. A lot of people thought it was ridiculous. I mean, even then, it gives me a false image that I'm a warrior type. And then suddenly I'm just launching fire at them. Like, people, even in Aegis, people thought I was just some sort of warrior. Because I carried a sword and shield.
Little did they know.
Little did they know. So yeah. Pretty cool, isn't it? Cover your front.
That's right.
Cover your back. Also, people have guns nowadays, so yeah.
I don't suppose we have any stop projectile spell, do we?
Oh, yeah, we do. But that's not the point. Always have to have what we call a backup. Because your shields, even though they're magical, can't stop everything. I know you think they can.
Quite the
It's very arrogant as a magic user. Oh, I have a shield spell. I can stop stuff. Can't stop everything, Sig.
Quite the shopping list here.
No, I just want you to keep this in mind, okay? Don't be like, oh, I'm a ranged spellcaster now. All I'm just gonna do is sit here and launch spells at you. And then you have a knife in your back when they teleported behind you. Or you could be like, oh,
Right.
suddenly block it. And then you can do the thing.
I could even weave my portals in. Gain more distance in that paralyzed close quarters situation we were talking about. If I were to paralyze you, and instead of spending the time getting more distance, well, use it to plop a portal down and get an insurmountable amount of distance. be very beneficial.
Oh, that's nice. But when it comes to
Again.
this is out of RP, so you gotta keep this in mind. But a bit in RP. It's called... No, that's not gonna work. Let's do this. Action, reaction. There's your
Oh, yeah,
there's
the
your
way that
opponent up there.
Fighting works.
You start launching a spell at him. You're like, he's like, oh shit. Reaction, dodge. Action, teleport behind you. Reaction.
Reaction, pull out shield, I suppose. Although would
Maybe.
pull out shield and turn around be counted as two separate actions?
No, pulling out a shield is not action. What are you gonna do? Just you pull out your shield and
Well, and block. Or attempt to block the incoming attack that's without a doubt going to be on its way.
that's a good idea. That could work. You're thinking outside the box. That's nice. Just
Well, if you preemptively block for the attack, you don't have to waste your next action trying to prep for it.
exactly. That's what they call. Shit, what do they call it? Whatever. Preparing.
Game sense.
Whatever. I did it lots of times. Preparing.
It's
So if
game
he's up there,
sense.
I'll be like, oh shit, I'm just. Oh, it's called like defensive action. Yeah, defensive action. So if he teleports behind you, you're ready for him. You're like, oh shit, okay. Then I'm just blocking here. And then you can
Right.
just either just knock him in the head with your shield, or if they do teleport in an attack, you just be ready for it. It's whatever. It's really bad
Right.
stuff because I'm running out of ideas now. What time is it? Going on 11. Okay, cool. Just keep in mind
So
that.
out of curiosity,
Oh shit! Yeah, what's up?
how long do you think all this training will take before I can at least do something basic?
Doing the thing. Oh, I see. Being eager, my student. Being eager.
Well, I'm merely curious due to the fact that the Aegis interviews are coming up, and having something else to add to the resume seems like a better option, I suppose. Just general curiosity, of course.
Maybe. It's not really up to me. It's up to Hybris and all them, but I see what you mean. You want to look good. Just don't piss them off, as I said before, and you should be good.
Right.
You know, stay out of drugs and all that exists in this world.
Of course. I was... Because the Aegis interviews themselves are coming up pretty soon here, and I did still request, regardless of the situation you're aware of, I requested to participate in the interviews. It didn't seem right not to.
It'll take as long as it takes, Sig.
I understand.
Sorry.
Well, I'll work as hard as I can. Anyways, continue with your list.
Running out of ideas. So what else?
If there's nothing else you'd like to cover today, we can go ahead and adjourn.
That's not what I'm thinking of. It's more like, what can I do now at your level? See, I already covered all that. Spells,
Well,
the way your
how
magic's
about
going to work.
how about looking more into read magic? You said it was the gateway.
Gateway for you, obvious. Read magic. Transmutation.
You have a
No,
prism
fuck.
on you.
Divination. Divination. Oh yeah, I forgot. I was supposed to give that to you. Here you go.
Thanks. He takes the present. That's in his bag.
Okay,
So-
sorry. Read magic. Sorry.
Oh, you're fine. It'll take about 2 hours to put a new spell in your book. Helps comprehend languages, glyphs, engravings on the weapon to possibly indicate elements or enchantments, pardon me.
Alright,
You're
enough of the
unable to
chit
use it
chatter.
on
So,
people.
with this spell, don't tell anybody you can do it.
Right.
Simple yet powerful. Because everybody wants to learn magic and do magic, and oh no, I have a spell that can make me read all magic? I'm gonna do crazy shit.
Right. Try to keep it on the down low, just like this whole training in its first place.
You can tell Sachi for all I care, and Hybris, you know, and all the Aegis members. Except for Krylik. Sorry, bro. So yes, read
Noted.
magic, divination, prism. So I guess.
Actually, if you wouldn't mind, could you give a demonstration?
Yeah, I was gonna do something like that. I was gonna teach you how to do it actually. Because okay.
Oh.
Spells have verbal, semantic, material, and what you found out today,
Materials prism.
focus. Focus item, the item. And then to produce the effect, which this is going to be divination, so you'll know it when you can actually read. It's kind of obvious.
Right.
So okay, I'm gonna make this.
Well, run through it piece by piece. What's the verbal for read magic? Is it would literally just read magic?
Like, out of character, you're kind of really breaking my balls here. That's not how it works. Like,
I don't know, man. Out of character, I don't know what's going on. You keep telling me you're running out of ideas. I'm trying to at least push something.
okay. It's not it's not hard. Then again, it's not easy at the same time. Okay, this will be a book. I mean, you won't be able to use it, so it's like kind of pointless because you need it in your book.
Right.
I can show you the semantic,
Sure.
and I already showed you the focus. And this doesn't have any material cost, so it's yeah. So with spells, they have it called a cast time. Because if you already we went over rituals, they have a different sort of length. 24 hours sometimes,
Right.
sometimes most of them 10 minutes. And or an instantaneous effect. So I didn't have notes on this, but here, I guess I can tell you this now. Because when it comes to a spell, they have cast times, so cast times. Where's my frickin' pins? Oh, here's green. Yep. Okay, this one is what I call the normal cast time. Not too slow, not too fast, just in the middle. like out of characters, these don't really have names. I mean, they have names like I'm telling you, just yeah. This is the standard cast
Well, yeah,
time, I'll call it. So this how
I suppose. I suppose one of the main things that I've been wondering about is during the action reaction combat sort of stuff. Casting a spell. Do we, and of course this is out of character but also in character at the same time, like would it be like, I mean you understand what I'm asking, like do we, how would I cast, if I said I wanted to cast for whatever reason read magic on, or to figure out if that what that weapon is enchanted with
Mhm.
in mid combat, how would I do it? If you were, so here, you're in combat right now, I guess that would be the scenario. I have a sword, it's obviously has gradings on it, you want to use read magic. How would we proceed?
actually.
I understand the concepts, it's the execution that escapes me.
Kind of messed up on this. Also, spells have range.
Right.
So yeah, this one doesn't have range because it's on you. So what was the scenario again? So yeah,
Again, that same warrior situation. I have a sword that is engraved. Clearly, it's got some sort of magic on it. You don't know what type, and you are going to be using read magic to figure it out mid combat for whatever reason, or prepping for combat or whatever.
Yeah.
How would how would you announce the others that you are casting this, and do it properly within the
Well,
lines of this world's combat, I suppose.
well, when it comes to my turn, to be like, okay, what you want to do? Okay, I want to cast a spell. I'm using a spell, read magic. You don't even really have to say that. I'm going to use a spell, and I'm going to allows me to figure out what type of weapon he has. If it's some sort of inscription or some sort of weird magical drawing on it. Be like, okay. And then
Just explanation, and then
the DM will tell you,
conversation.
okay, that his weapon is, he has a normal steel sword, and it's enchanted with fire magic. Okay, turn over.
Okay.
Or if
Just
they're
wanted to make sure.
if they're a lot more lax, to be like, okay, so I know that information now. And if someone's right next to you, be like, hey, fire sword. Because they wouldn't know it. That would be meta and all that.
Yeah.
So you can gather information, and then when it comes back to your turn, you can announce out loud. Because that's also a thing. Like, okay, hey everybody, his sword's
Right.
a fire sword, and that would be
And that would
action.
count as an action. Right.
most of the time, yes. So back to read magic. Sorry, the verbal part,
They're fine.
semantics. We can't do the verbal part yet. The semantics, verbal focus. Okay, so here's your book. You get the prism. Put the prism on the book. You put your hand on the prism and put your left hand on the page side that you want to read, and that's the semantic.
Huh. Doing that mid-combat doesn't seem too easy.
Well, that's for a book, I'm sorry, but you want to for the weapons specifically, because there's several types. Scrolls, books, weapons. But that could be a weapon that's in front of you, but if you want to do range, just hold the prism. Well, you don't even have to hold the prism, really, when it comes to like that. Because they'll be in your component, so that's different. Just have it on you, because it's a focus. So just be like, it'll be kind of weird, but you point at them. Like, the object you point at, so it would kind of act like you putting your hand on the page side, and you would have the focus in your components pouch. And you would cast it. It's like almost simultaneously, like read magic, and you're pointing at the object, and it'll get you information on what you want to do.
Right.
Semantic focus. Oh, verbal. Yeah, that's different. Yep. But yeah.
And I'm unable to do verbal yet.
Because it's written in.
Draconic.
Actually, it's not written in Draconic.
Hmm.
Forgot, this one's more of a universal. It might be written in both, actually. I haven't actually used Read Magic in years. I'm gonna need to double check that. Also, Sig, you reminded me. Sometimes spells. Sorry.
You're fine.
Which I didn't want to cover this yet, because we're not to that part yet. Can be used by
Well, if we don't have to cover it, or if you don't want to cover it yet, that's fine. We can always cover it in another session.
different sort of spellcasters. Wizard, you, sort of ish. Sorcerer, kind of like a wizard, but they have inherent magic inside of them. And they can just cast like that. And a druid, kind of like me. Divine user though. It's divine. And then a cleric, it's somebody who, yeah, priests and stuff. Sometimes with spells, multiple types can use the same spell. But generally, in and out of character, people don't like classify themselves like this. So it's whatever.
Right.
But I'm just saying, certain types of magic users can only use certain spells. And I think read magic is multiple. Yes. Yes, it is. So yeah, I'll get that tomorrow. I'll look through my books.
Sure thing. Was there anything else you wanted to cover for today?
Because I don't have that spell anymore, Sig. I kind of switched it out. I don't need it.
Right.
Sorry.
But that's fine.
That's why I didn't remember. I'm like, can I use it? I did, but I don't remember using it. Sorry, I messed with my brain, Sig. Literally, but well. Good thing you caught that. But yeah. I'll get you your read magic spell, and you'll write it down in your book, and you'll hopefully be able to use it.
Right. After 2 hours, of course.
Yeah, it's gonna take some time to write that down. Actually, can you use it? Shit. This is getting out of order.
We'll figure it out. If I can use it, just message me after.
No, I don't think you can use it, because you have to write it in your language. You have to write it in Draconic in your book. Sorry. I was like,
It's okay.
it's the RA. So yeah. Even if I can borrow a Draconic book for like 2 moments.
I think one of the dragons. Well, I suppose. Never mind.
Yeah, I already asked about that. So, oh well. Yeah, I forgot. You can't use it. Feels bad. We need that Draconic book.
All?
Sorry,
or just
Sig.
without
It's
that
coming.
book?
Huh?
Sorry. Whenever you can get your hands on it. And I'd be happy to assist in finding it in any way I can.
Nah, I already asked. It's coming. Ask a dragon to ask another dragon to get the book. It's already on its way.
Perfect.
And if you ask about it, probably not good.
Right.
You're like, who's this random human asking me for my draconic blade? No, I'm just kidding. But that's worst case scenario. I'll handle it. It's fine.
Right.
I know the person. Ever seen Adam? That big, tall dragon. Yep.
I probably have.
Well, alright. Some out of ideas again. I already showed you how to do this spell like over 50% of the way, so I don't fucking know.
Well, if that's all for class today, I've actually got a phone call I can take. If that would work out for you.
Alright. Any more questions?
Huh.
Not, class
No,
is
you
dismissed.
basically answered all of them. Thank you again. I'll be sure to see you again whenever our next session is.
Cool. Yeah.
Anything I should have prepared for next class?
Maybe. Might be able to do our arcane ritual that day, so we'll see. Just, bring some ideas on how... Nah, I'm not gonna spoil it. Just have a good night's rest.
Sure thing. I'll see you later then.
So probably some triple antibiotic. Sorry. I may forget.
It's okay. It's Spider-Man.
Don't break it, Sig. This is on rent.
Sorry.
Fucking hell. I'm gonna have to clean this place up. I'm gonna have to make him do it this time. Teacher has to do all this stuff. Fuck. Alright. I'm going home.
knows I ain't faking now. Everybody knows my heart's vacant now. Yeah, she hates me now, I made mistakes, but now I don't ever wanna be alone. I don't really ever feel at home. On my own, in the zone, that's the only way I know. Feeling low, about to blow back up. Here I won't ever let the doubt creep in. Gotta pop a couple more aspirin. I don't think I'll ever let you in. Easier to break it off as friends. I don't really understand myself. I don't really understand, need help. I don't wanna be left on the shelf. Couldn't even hear me if I yelled. It's so cold outside. I'm alone, I'm alright. It's so cold outside. I'm alone, I'm alright. It's so cold. Break down, always feel like I could break now, but I never let it take me to that place now. I won't ever let my thoughts get away now. I got better things to do, picking fate now. I just wanna be the best, call me great now. I don't know if I'm okay or insane now. I remember better days on the playground, hoping I can find my way to even when I'm feeling down. I fight, even when I don't know what is right. I'ma pick a side, and I'ma take pride. I will decide my fate and I will never let them tell me who I am. If you try to shake me, I'll be damned. Planet on the ground is where I stand. Never give up, that was always the plan. It's so cold outside. I'm alone, I'm alright. It's so cold outside. I'm alone, I'm alright. It's so cold. So
side.